I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Happy Friday, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world today. My name is Ingor van Roy, and I am recognized as a connection catalyst. I help entrepreneurs and manufacturers develop a strategy so that they can stand out and connect with their ideal community. If you had to know just one thing about me, it would have to be that I am all about the principle of Ubuntu. And like me, Ubuntu has its roots in South Africa. Now you may be wondering, what does that mean? Well, Ubuntu is an ancient African word and it means humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am because we are. And the real reason why I love Ubuntu is because the person sitting before you today would not be without all of you. So I'm so excited because I get to highlight somebody that has been in my community, a friend for quite some time. Angela Thurman, I'm sure many of you know her. And if you don't, well, today you're getting a chance to meet her, and we're going to help you build that KLT with her so you can get to know, like, and trust her. If you're watching live, please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to be able to make you part of our conversation. So, without further ado, let me bring Angela on.
Good morning, Ingor. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me to be on your show.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to um, learn more about you, to be honest. I'm looking forward to that. But for those people who don't know you, won't you please introduce yourself, let them know who you are, what you do, and make it as personal as you want.
Okay, thank you. So, my name is Angela Thurman. I am the project management empress, and I currently reside in Houston, Texas, although I'm originally from the extreme northwest corner of Arkansas. That's where I was born, grew up, went to college, and launched my career. I am by training an electrical engineer, and I have a background that covers a lot of different things, industries, but primarily centers around telecommunications and aerospace. I have I've worked for small manufacturing companies and large um, aerospace manufacturers as well. Um, I once owned my own wedding planning company in Kansas City, which is a form of project management, although most people don't think of it that way. And I also originally started my career at NASA. So I was a part of the team that developed the power management and distribution systems for the space station. And although I live in Houston now, um, I don't work for NASA. I own a project management consulting firm here in Houston now. And that's a little bit about me.
Oh, so most of it I knew, but the wedding planning, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. So I got a little bit burned out on technology,
Yeah.
and so um, after a layoff, I just decided I'm going to take a break from technology. And I was in one of those. Uh, my company had offered outplacement services, and so I was working with an outplacement service, and one of the ladies that that worked there, her daughter was getting married, and I just was offering her some advice and tips and things like that, and she goes, "You would be a really good wedding planner." And I sort of started turning that over in my mind. I'm like, maybe I should consider that. And so I did. And so for about 6 years, I had one of the prominent wedding planning businesses in Kansas City. As a result,
Wow.
I was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal a couple of times. I was interviewed by the wedding planning magazine, The Knot, a couple
Wow.
of times. I was interviewed by an author who has a series of mystery novels where the heroine is a wedding planner. And in fact, some of her books have been made into like Hallmark movies. And,
What?
mhm, mhm.
That is so cool.
So she had a situation that she wanted to figure out how to work this into the book, and so yes, so she talked to me, and some of what I said ended up in the book. I mean,
That is so cool.
there was actually a set of characters, a daughter, a mother, and father, um, that were secondary characters in the novel. I'm like, "That's my couple!" That's I knew who it was based on. And,
Wow.
yeah, so it was fun. It was fun, but eventually,
Yeah.
my best friend called me up and said, "Okay, you've been chasing crazy women in white dresses long enough. You need to get back into technology."
Oh my god.
And so I did.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go to the comments and say hello to the people that are watching. Ooh. Look who it is.
Hi, Bob. Good morning.
Good morning, Bob. Nice to see you. He says, "Good morning, friends. Boston in the house." Oh my gosh. And Atish says, "All the best. Wish you loads of success." Thank you, Atish.
Good morning.
Appreciate you. Morning. Let us know where you're tuned in from, Atish. Nice to know sometimes. Look who it is.
Good morning, Diane.
Morning, Diane. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Bob says, "Happy Friday," and he's tagging, I guess, Whitney and Sri. I think Whitney is in a meeting, and I think Sri actually might be going live soon too. So they
Great.
may not be able to join us. Nice to see you guys. And look,
Oh, good morning, Karen. So glad to hear that you're here.
yes, thank you. Thank you, Alice, for being here. I love to call her Alice,
Oh, Alice.
because of her YouTube, yeah, her YouTube
Her,
name.
yeah, her camper is Alice. Alice
Oh,
found Wonderland.
I love that. Bob says Angela does an amazing job of sharing and highlighting her network.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Yep, I'll be doing another
Feature
Friday
Fridays.
feature.
Yes, I love it. Karen is saying hello to you,
Oh,
and she says,
oh,
"What does that mean?" Is that an inside joke?
oh, no, the Marvel movies, the X-Men.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The
But
female version of the
yeah,
X-Men.
but it's the female XX.
I love it. NASA. That is an interesting tidbit. Yes, Bob, it is. And yes, wedding planning is extreme project management.
So, Bob, I actually do have a NASA tech brief attached, as a document on on my LinkedIn profile if you want to learn more about load converters for the space station.
Oh my gosh. I think many people will just nerd out on that. Oh, look who it is. Good morning.
Hi,
Morning,
John.
John. He says, listening in from New Jersey. Ooh, today is going to be close to 90 degrees. Yeah,
Time to
it's
go to the beach.
honestly, I can't do my show without a fan today. I'm actually getting hot. I hope you can't hear it, but if you can, that's what it is. I'm sorry. Um, and then we have,
Good
hello,
morning,
Mr.
Dave.
Counselor. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. And I'm seeing some networking in the comments. Oh, hello. Hello, Laura. Thank you for being here. She says, Happy Friday. Look what Karen says. I know, right? Nice to see you guys here. Thank you for being here and for joining in on the conversation. I look forward to reading more comments from you. So, but let's dive in and ask you your first question because, Angela, as you know, this show is called Inspiration from Inga. Um, Angela, what inspires you?
Problem solving.
Oh,
I love to solve puzzles. I mean, as a kid, I loved, puzzles and of all different types. And so I think of my work as problem solving for my customers, my clients, and it's just another kind of puzzle. And um, whether it's trying to find the right tool or um, trying to work out how to resolve this problem given the resources at hand, whether those resources are time, money, um, personnel. It's that's that's what it is for me. That's my way of looking at this um, opportunity, and that's that's what really gets my juices flowing, I guess. I um, I
nice,
really like helping people solve their problems,
nice,
and that's inspiring to me.
awesome. Um, so what kind of games, problem solving games did you play when you were a kid?
Oh, um, like the kind of problems where like mazes, trying to find your way out of the maze,
Yeah.
crossword puzzles, lots of crossword puzzles, um, mechanical puzzles.
Like a
I didn't
Rubik's
I
Cube?
No, I never really liked the Rubik's
Uh,
Cube, but, where you've got parts that fit together, and you have
okay.
to join them together to make a shape.
Mm.
Um,
That's the
those
engineer that came out already when you were
Yeah,
younger.
I think so,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, um, lots and lots of word games, like word jumbles. Um, I love playing Scrabble.
Nice. And
Uh,
now what do you do now?
jigsaw puzzles. Yeah, definitely love jigsaw puzzles. I always have.
Oh,
Yeah, and then it's not really a puzzle per se, but chess. I love chess. When I was a kid, I loved chess and checkers, those
nice.
kinds of things. Very strategic
Yes. Yes.
games.
Awesome.
Um, I actually, when I lived in Kansas City, um, I invited a couple from my church over for dinner, and so I was making dinner, and they said, "We'll bring over a board game," and I'm like, "I love board games, go for it." And so I had only just heard of Settlers of Catan and had never played it, and they were big, big fans of this game, so they brought it over. And so they explained to me, the rules. I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, I get it." And I beat them both the first time I ever played, and they're like, "We're not playing games with you anymore."
Oh my god. Actually, who plays Catan? Gail.
Oh,
She plays it with her
maybe
son. Yeah.
we should have a virtual game night with Gail.
Oh my gosh. I'll just watch. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when you were a child
Mhm.
and growing up, who was your role model and why?
So I would have to say that would be Dr. Jim Pearson. Jim Pearson was a deacon in my church, and he was also the chair of the engineering division at the local university where I ultimately went to school. He um, he had sons that were just a couple of years older than me, and so growing up, he and his wife Melly would host. Nights, uh, they would host the youth group over at their house for get-togethers of all sorts of things, um, which was very generous, I think, to have a bunch of teenagers over at their house. And then when I got to school, he was very, very inspirational in my school years. First of all, he really was the reason I ended up going into engineering, and then he ensured that I was able to stay at school. For various different reasons, I had to take a year out, and he made sure that I was able to get back to school the following year. And in the summer between my junior and senior years, Dr. Pearson and his wife Melly um, took me and two other students to Ecuador to work at a missionary radio station in the Andes Mountains. And so, that was a great opportunity. I got to spend 6 weeks with him, with the Pearsons, in this beautiful, beautiful environment. Learned a lot
I can
about
imagine.
engineering and just life in general. and and then he just was continuing to foster my career. Um, so he just epitomized for me what an engineer was, and what a good person is.
Yeah.
And for that, I'll always be very thankful.
Wow. Hmm. Is he still alive?
I believe so. I should probably really check up on that.
Yeah. I was just wondering actually if you're still in touch with him.
Um,
Um,
it's been a while since I was back at my university, actually about 10 years. And his youngest son, Matt, was teaching at the university when I was last there.
wow. Wow, that's awesome. I do remember a little story that you shared about the radio and working at the radio station.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to share it now?
Oh, about oh, so one day I um I was asked to build a rectifier for one of the transmitters, and so I designed the rectifier that was needed, and then actually had to build it. So um, resistors and capacitors, soldered it all up, and then I had to go inside this high voltage transmitter, and the transmitter itself is like a large closet sized piece of equipment, and there's a path, a walkway, large enough that multiple people can stand in the middle of it. And down the middle of this walkway is a cable trough. And so I was working on installing the rectifier when it was coming up time for that particular transmitter to go live. So they started warming it up. Um, and sooner as time is going by, the engineers are like, you need to hurry up. You need to get out of there. We need to go to broadcast. And so as the transmitter was going live, I'm still inside, and I finally got the rectifier installed, and now this is all high voltage around me on both sides. And I had to shimmy out on my back in that cable trough so that I wasn't, touching anything, electrocuting myself. And so I got out, and I was filthy, absolutely filthy. And that later that
Imagine.
day, all of the other men, particularly the native men, uh, they're all shaking my hand saying, "Today we know you are an engineer."
Ah.
Because up to that point, they just thought I was like the secretary to the other guys.
Oh, wow. Well, well, you showed them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Um, Angela, what is your life statement?
My life statement. Um, so I often refer back to a quote from C.S. Lewis. It's never too late to start a new chapter.
Mm,
I'm brutalizing that quote, I know, but the thought is there. Um, so it's never too late to start something new, whatever that might be. So to start, maybe if it's you want to go back to school, or you want to get a new certification in something, or you want to start a business, or maybe start a relationship, or it's never too late to start. And I thought, that just really resonates with me. And I love C.S. Lewis.
sorry, I muted myself because I wanted to find it for you.
Okay, thank you.
And I have, so I'll tell you quickly. I'm gonna display it on screen so you can
Okay,
see it.
thank you.
And it's such a beautiful quote, actually. Um, it really is. I was on another tab so that I could do this quickly. You are never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream.
That's it. That's perfect.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you. And you're right. You're never too old to reinvent yourself, to pivot, right? And I think a lot of people actually had to pivot quite recently during the pandemic,
Mhm.
myself included. And I really thought like I really thought that I was like, am I am I really doing this? Is this really happening? Because at that point I was 39.
Oh, so
Yeah.
old.
No, but like, we're only promised three score and ten, right? So in my opinion, like it was already 50% of that is over. So how am I going to now change and start anew? But yeah, I have. And I think there are quite a few of us, even in the comments, that have done that. So thank you. You really are never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream.
Mm.
What are some things that are on the horizon for you?
Oh, well, um, well, I'm always looking for that next great project, that next, really interesting project. But something that's on the horizon, every summer, I go with a group of friends for a week at the beach. There's a Gulf Coast um, barrier island that we visit, and so we spend a week there at the beach, and I'm looking forward to doing that again this summer. And then in August, I'm leading a panel of other women in manufacturing members from the Texas chapter for a panel discussion at the AI Manufacturing and SCADA Technology Conference in Dallas. So I'm really looking forward to that. And just attending the conference is going to be amazing.
Awesome.
And then October 6th is Manufacturing Day. It's
Yeah.
I think it's International Manufacturing Day. And so our Texas chapter is planning some super secret stuff that's just gonna rock the world.
Awesome.
And then at the end of September is IM's International Summit. So it's our annual big conference for all WIM members and other interested parties. And this year it's going to be in San Diego, and I've never been to San Diego. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
And the list of speakers looks really wonderful. And I'm hoping when I go to San Diego to meet up with some other California friends that
Nice.
yeah, that are in that area. So that's what's on the immediate horizon.
Do you have any virtual events, for some of us that are not in the States?
Oh, absolutely we do. In fact,
Okay.
um, yeah, yeah, we do. So
Um,
please check out our event page and attend. We'd love to
okay.
have you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
Let's before we switch gears and go to the networking side, let's see what people have been saying. Oh my gosh. Okay. Karen says, no, the XX Man reference is, oh my gosh, I can't say that.
The Dos Equis beer commercial.
Okay.
The most fascinating man on earth. Oh, Karen, that is hilarious.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Oh, look at Bob. You know what's funny? Okay. So with Bob, when
Mhm.
he was on my show, we actually had to decide on having a part two because we were more than halfway through the show and I hadn't asked him any questions yet.
I can believe that. I can definitely
Yeah,
believe that.
because we were just chatting away. Oh my gosh. Look who it is.
Hi, Chrisland.
Hi, Chrislyn. Thank you for being here. For her, it's afternoon. She's in Cape
Mhm.
Town, South Africa. So nice. Karen says, Dave Chrysler, hey there, enjoyed your 5 tips to change management as I enjoyed my morning coffee. Awesome. And Dave loves that. Um, yes, Dave, you are the king of process. And by the way, myself and Dave and Katie were on a show last night with Dr. Nupi. We spoke about adversity
Mhm.
and especially highlighting stroke awareness because it's Stroke Awareness Month.
Mhm.
And Katie actually is a 2 times stroke survivor.
Mhm.
So we got to speak about that. It was really an awesome show. I know Bob was there watching in. So thank you, Bob, for being there. And thank you for being here too. And Bob also says, great story, Angela.
Well, thank you, Bob.
And so does Laura. She says, great story of true grit. High fives to you. Oh my gosh. And Dave also. You see? You are awesome. And hello to you, Raven. Thank you for tuning in from South Africa. Nice to see you. Okay, let us shift gears and talk about networking because I know you are a power networker.
Oh, oh, I don't know about that, but thank you.
Yes, you are. Honestly, like yeah. There are very few people that take it to that level. And hats off to you, honestly. So what's your take on networking? How do you approach it?
Well, there are a couple of different things. I think that it's important to make connections with people and and to view them as people, not just tick boxes. Oh, I added X number of new contacts to my LinkedIn network, but rather, hey, I met three amazing people this week.
Yes.
That's one thing, and I'm always prepared for those opportunities to meet new people. So, for example, every month, Whitney and I host uh, a uh, a meet and greet here in the energy corridor of Houston. So we're on the west side, and this is for women in manufacturing. And you know, everybody's welcome to attend. You don't have to be a member of WIM to join and to join us. And it's a lot of fun. It's a great way for our members to become actually acquainted with one another and to discuss trends in manufacturing, what their challenges are, to share successes and uh, accomplishments, which that's great to hear too. And we just get together once a month at a local restaurant and have dinner together. And it's very informal. There's no set agenda, but it does give everyone an opportunity to exchange business cards and so forth. Well, I don't carry physical business cards anymore. I have a digital business card. It's called a Popple, and there are many like this. And then so this card has an RFID chip in it, and all I have to do is wave this card within the field of someone's phone, and it automatically downloads all my contact information to their phone, and they then can send their contact information to my phone. It's very quick, it's very easy. It's kind of cool tech, so it
Yes.
makes me automatically the cool kid in the group. And I really really love that. And so um, I'm I'm meeting tons of people through these informal negative in sorry, not negative. Uh,
Networking.
yeah, networking events this way,
Yes.
and able to share the contact information within the group, and that's great. And almost always we'll connect on LinkedIn and so forth. Um, but another thing is, and I'm very aware of this, is that when someone has something in common with a person I already know, I'll make those introductions. I'll say, "Oh, I met someone at such and such event, and they're looking for what you have, or you have such and such in common. Would you like an introduction?" And almost without fail, they'll say yes, or of course I would, or thank you. And it takes 2 seconds to make a LinkedIn introduction. And you don't have to do any work. You write an introduction and
Yeah.
exit the conversation. You don't have to do any follow up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That is so easy, but it's so helpful. And
Yes.
I've had people make introductions for me that have led to some really fantastic opportunities. It's
Yes.
I mean, it's not difficult, but it can
No.
really help someone.
Yes.
So,
In fact, I actually know somebody that he will send a group message,
mhm.
and all he says is, "You two need to talk," and that's all he says.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
and then you will find the commonality, right? Like, because just yesterday I had a meeting with somebody, and that he um, that I met because of this mutual friend.
Mhm.
And we had the conversation. In speaking with him, I was able to uncover quite a bit and a reason why he felt that there's an overlap.
Mhm.
In fact, I called him afterwards and I said, "Hey, I met with so and so. Is this why you wanted me to talk to him?" And he said, "Yes."
Mhm.
So, he doesn't usually explain. He just says, "You two need to talk." And that's enough. You just bridging the gap, right? You don't have to say Inga is this and this and this and and Angela is this and this and no. When the two people talk, they will find that common ground. So
Mhm.
that's all. That's all you need to do. That's awesome.
Well, and I mean, there are so many different
Yeah.
applications you can use, but
Yes.
LinkedIn makes it so convenient. You can have a video conference right there on LinkedIn in a second. Um, you can link your Calendly app and provide your meeting availability and say, "Here, grab some time on my calendar."
Yeah.
Um, it's just amazing and how
Yeah.
simple it can.
Yes. Technology has really simplified things for us,
Mhm.
hasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. How has networking impacted you?
Oh, wow. That's that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
So, so I'm a student of the economy of one methodology developed by Elizabeth Allen. And in 2010, um, well, and even 2009, I was laid off from Sprint in 2009. And I thought I was doing everything I could and everything right to find my next job. And I learned that I wasn't. So, Elizabeth's methodology is built entirely around your contacts, your base of who do you know, and networking. And and it was through networking, through my contacts, and eventually, I mean, actually, it was through a fellow I'd gone to school with that I landed my job at Collins Aerospace. At that time, it was Rockwell Collins, and I mean, that was a wonderful job that I had for over 10 years, and it utilized all my core skills, and I couldn't have written a better job description, more suited to what interested me and how I wanted to, use my skills, and
It's
and
awesome.
it was all about networking, and then, when I eventually left Collins, it was again through networking that I landed the first, client when I launched my business, Thurman and Co. And ever since, all of my clients have almost always, well, they have all come through word of mouth. It's not like I've gone out and, bought billboards and people have called me because they saw billboards. It's almost always been through networking. I could probably tie every project back to a specific referral.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
So how do you leverage LinkedIn? What do you do? What's your approach to using LinkedIn for networking?
One of my favorite things is the notifications, um, because that is a quick and easy way for me to, um, reply to comments where people have, interacted with my posts, but also to wish people a happy birthday, congratulate them on a job promotion or a new job that they've started. because those are the kinds of things that I would want people to notice or comment, about me. I love getting birthday congratulations and that sort of thing. And I think that that's just a nice way to make someone's day. And so
Yes.
if there are people in my network that are celebrating their birthday, I'm going to wish them a happy birthday. And if LinkedIn makes it that much easier by letting me know it's their birthday, more the better. Um,
Nice.
and then another thing is, of course, my Friday feature post. I borrowed that from Ira, and I have blatantly, used it. And I I keep a track of who I've celebrated, so that I don't, use someone and miss someone else. But yeah, those are two of the things I like best.
I love that. Well, let's go to the comments, and then if you can share your final thoughts for the viewers and let them know where they can find you. But let's go. Oh my gosh. Uh, okay. Bob says he's back to work. Shh. Have a wonderful weekend, friends. Thank you,
Mm.
Bob, for being here. And Dave says, I was going to send you guys a picture of some random glitter I found on our hallway floor last night. Somehow, Dr. Nupi Aurora figured out how to travel through time to deliver on her promise. So last night we were joking about glitter, and Dave, for Dave that's an absolute nightmare, and for myself too, because glitter is stubborn as heck. How do I don't know how to get rid of it, honestly. Oh my gosh. And Bob says glitter anxiety is real. Yes, trust me. There are few things that are banned in my home. So the one thing is glitter. Other thing is Play-Doh.
Oh,
Oh my god. No. Since my eldest daughter is turning 21 this year, but since she was like 3 or 4, we said no more Play-Doh. Play-Doh is no longer allowed in this home because she would get it everywhere and stuck in the carpet, and you cannot. Have you ever tried to remove Play-Doh or glitter from a carpet?
or Play-Doh with glitter. Oh my goodness.
Oh my no.
Yeah.
And then also kinetic sand. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody knows about what that is, but it's malleable, and it's sand though, so it just messes all over the place.
So when
Uh,
I was
yeah.
in college, I taught nursery school, and
Oh my
yeah, so I had 3 and 4-year-olds, and
god. Nice.
one of the things, the best things, for that age group is shaving cream. But you have to, not the menthol kind, just the plain,
Play-Doh.
because you can just squirt it on the table and let them play, and
Yeah.
they love it, and they draw pictures in it and whatever, but it evaporates and it's clean. So the kids are clean, the table is clean, and
That's awesome.
they've had a good time.
I um I thought you were gonna say, do you know what oobleck is?
I don't.
Um okay, so oobleck is something that you make out of cornstarch and water.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the consistency is kind of weird because you can squish it together and it will make like it'll look hard, and then as soon as you kind of release your hand, it will start oozing out of your hand. So it changes consistencies, and kids love it. So that's something that I've played with especially with my youngest daughter. She loves oobleck. um Chrislyn says, so true, never too late to start something new. She loves that.
Oh.
Awesome. And Laura says, Angela, I love digital business cards. Listening to you, I realize I need to connect you to my ABWA Women's Professional Group connection in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned. I will make the warm connection. Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
wonderful.
That is wonderful. And, you know, before we actually wrap up, I'd like to ask you,
Mhm.
why are you so passionate about supporting women?
Well, um, well, one
Besides
thing,
the obvious.
besides the obvious,
Yes.
um, so, one thing is, I when I went to school, I was only the 4th woman to get an engineering degree from my school, and I knew the 3 that came before me because they were in the 3 consecutive years immediately before me, 1 each. Um, so it was very unusual for a woman to get an engineering degree, and there there wasn't a lot of support for that. Um, Before I went to John Brown, I had originally thought that I would go to school at Hendrix University, which is the most academically prestigious school in Arkansas, which sounds funny, but it is actually a really good school. And I um, I had a roommate, and when when I first met her, and I told her that I was going to I was going into engineering, and that I was on a 3-2 plan, that I was going to be going 3 years at Hendrix and then 2 years at Georgia Tech, and that I would get, or Vanderbilt maybe, I would get a degree in physics from Hendrix and a degree in engineering from the second school. And she was just like, "Oh, so you like math and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." It just it just felt like there wasn't there wasn't a place for me. And so from very early on, I felt like women who choose STEM careers really need support, and and that's why. I mean, it's been it's been over 30 years since I started my career, but
Yeah.
I think that there's still a gap. Um, and so if I can help bridge that gap, I want
Yeah.
to.
That's awesome. I, you know, our friend Megan Zimba says it best.
Oh,
She
she does.
says, representation matters.
Yes.
And yeah, representation does matter. And I think, I think in a world where many women that are in positions of power do not support other women, we need to. We need to do it.
Hmm.
That's why women empowerment is so important to me. I've been in a position where I've been pushed down, pressed down by women that are in power, and I just don't understand it because if we're being pressed down elsewhere by others, and then women also do it to us, who the
Hmm.
heck is going to lift us up?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I say us because it's all of our responsibility. It's all of ours. Like you and I both, we're CEOs of our companies. We need to band together and elevate others with us,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So by the way, if you're watching still and haven't had a chance to check out my new show, which is called Wonder Women Wednesday, please do so. I'm live every Wednesday from, well, on radio from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on here on LinkedIn and YouTube, as well as Facebook, we're live at 12:30 for an hour with a guest. So know that we have pertinent conversations, things to help each other, lift each other up, and help each other overcome adversity, including adversity that we ourselves instigate, unfortunately. But thank you, Angela. This has been an amazing opportunity to get to know you. I already know, like, and trust you. We've already done business together, and I'm looking forward to further collaboration opportunities whenever they come. But thank you for being here and sharing yourself, sharing part of who you are with us. Um, what are your final thoughts for our viewers, please?
Well, it's just been a pleasure to be here, Ingor. Thank you again for having me on your show. And I guess I would just say that if anyone has any questions about um, women in manufacturing, or if you have questions about project management, please reach out. Um, if you there, Ingor's showing the website address again. You can reach me through the website or at Angela at 𝐓𝐡𝐞 and I'd be happy to um, connect with you on LinkedIn as well. So thanks again, Ingor. It's been a real delight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I will send you to the green room if you don't mind while
Okay.
I wrap up. Thank you. And if you're still watching, thank you for being here with us, spending some time with us. Um, Apologies for my voice. I am a bit under the weather, but I didn't want to miss today to be able to spend time with you as well as my awesome guest. Just quickly, thank you so much to our amazing sponsors at Africop Online Radio. We appreciate you. Africop is your oasis of entertainment, where we bring you only the best in local and international music. And if you don't know, I am now hosting a show on that platform every Wednesday. It's a 2 hour show from 12 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern. And I bring on amazing guests. Angela was there with me during my maiden show, and we got to talk a little bit and just emphasize the importance of striving for women empowerment. Anyway, I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your Friday and a good weekend. And I'll see you back here next week for another episode of Inspiration from Ingor. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.